Hey guys, so fight of the night was Rose and Jessica. Performance of the night goes to Davey Grant and Yuri. They all won $50,000, so congratulations to them. John Morgan.
Main event, obviously Masvidal was going up against a lot tonight. What did you think overall the way the fight played out?
Yeah, played out the way that I thought it might. I thought that if George didn't catch him with something, that's the way the fight would go. And, his takedown defense was unbelievable. He would get taken down and get back up against Usman. It's tough to do. He did it for 5 rounds and, did what he could do. Usman's a beast, man. Guy's a beast.
I saw you talking with George in the cage afterwards. Obviously we knew the result before it was read, but you were talking to him. What was the conversation like?
He was saying, I'll be back. I want another shot.
What do you think? I mean, obviously you wouldn't go right back to that, of course, Gilbert Burns. But when a guy steps in on 6 days' notice, flies halfway around the world, do you feel like maybe, hey, a win or two, we could talk about it?
Well, that was the fight we were working on. That's the fight he was training for. There was a 2-week gap there where he wasn't the fight. But, I heard he was bringing in high-level wrestlers to train with and everything else, and I think you saw that tonight, And as far as his shape, if he wasn't in shape, he wouldn't be able to stop those takedowns, going into 3rd, 4th, 5th round. He stopped a lot of them, and he got back up when he was down. So, he fought a good fight.
Co-main event, obviously very, very close fight there as well. Were you scoring that one along, and did you have Volkanovski winning? Did you have Holloway? What'd you think?
Listen, man, you can't leave it. You can't leave it to these guys. We got some bad judging. And I don't know, has Max been in here yet? I'm sure he's devastated, and yeah.
So normally when a guy is 2-0 against a champ, we don't get to see a third fight. But seeing as how you maybe think it went the other way, do you think?
I don't know. Did anybody in here score it for Volkanovski? Anybody have it for Volkanovski? Nobody in the media. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
And last title fight I want to ask about, of course, the new champion with Peter Yan. What did you think about his performance? Obviously, he seems like a very exciting guy.
Thought he looked good. I thought Aldo looked great for people that were criticizing him, saying he doesn't deserve another title shot. Horrible stoppage by the referee. Should have been stopped way sooner. Looks like we got to tighten up our our refs and judges here on Fight Island.
You said Aldo, I thought, looked really good. I thought he looked
great.
Kind of the old Jose Aldo. What do you think he should do at this point, though? Do you still feel comfortable with him at 35? He's had some setbacks, but he looked good.
He's fought the best guy, and the guy who's lined up for the next title shot, and he looked damn good doing it. He can do whatever he wants.
Just 2 more for me real quick. Paige Vanzant, she made it clear she wants to test free agency after this. She lost this evening. Amanda Ribas obviously looks like an up-and-coming talent. But is Paige somebody you'd be interested in talking to? She made it clear she wants to test the market. Would you like to have her back?
Yeah, I think that I like Paige. It's like Blades when I talk. When Blades fought last. When you talk all that stuff, I'm not being paid enough, and fighting inconsistently. One time in the last year, injuries, and then got smoked in the first round of the fight. She should definitely test free agency.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The last thing, we got the first Fight Island show in the books. Obviously we've been seeing the operations all week, but just give us your thoughts. Now that you got one in the books, I'm sure you feel like you cleared a hurdle a little bit. What's your thoughts? No,
I always like to get the first one behind me, and we did, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday now, and and just knocking them down. We got it's been great. I don't know how you guys have felt here, but this is amazing. When you think about all the places that we could possibly go, and you think about possibly go if everything was normal, but everything's not normal. So if you think of the places that we could go, there isn't much going on, and the way the service here, and from the restaurants to the hotels to everything, you literally can't do it better than this. You can't be done better than this. The Apex is great. I spent $100 million on that building, and I love it, but Fight Island's tough to beat. You know what I mean?
Hi, Dana.
Yeah.
What do you do with Jorge now, right? Obviously, he got a bump in pay for this fight, so you can't just put him against lower-ranked guys. You're going to want to put him in bigger fights. So what do you do with him going forward?
Who do you do with who?
Masvidal.
Masvidal? Well, I don't know. I don't know what Masvidal wants to do. He said, I'll be back. You know, we're talking in the octagon, so I don't know what he wants to do. Give him some time, see what he wants to do next.
But if he got the pay rise that he wanted, right, you're going to have to put him against bigger name guys like Nate or whatever.
You guys don't know anything about what happened with the deal, so it's all good.
Today you announced UFC 4. You have Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in the game. How does that happen?
Yeah, because we wanted them. We wanted them, and, you know, we thought they'd be fun to have in the game as extra characters. I mean, every year we've done, you know, different things from Bruce Lee to, you know, now these guys. And, yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad they agreed and wanted to be a part of it, and it's going to be a fun game.
Is there a sense of irony that it took the UFC to make a Fury-Joshua fight?
That's funny. Yeah.
Peter Yan, he had a great win tonight. Is Aljamain Sterling the next contender for him?
Who's that?
For Yan, Aljamain Sterling, is he the next contender?
I don't know. I'm thinking about Wednesday.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks, Dana.
Hey, Dana. Just over here.
Yep.
First of all, congratulations on the event. I think it went really well.
Thank you.
So UFC 251 was originally supposed to be in Australia this year, and obviously the pandemic happened. But considering your success here and your ability to sort of be able to put on events in face of the pandemic, do you think there's still a chance that the UFC could be coming back to Australia or New Zealand this year? And what are your plans on that front?
I do. I've been hearing things, and you would probably know better than me, but I'm hearing that in New Zealand they're doing things with fans, so it's possible.
And just on that, do you think that there's enough talent down there to put on a show just with Australian and New Zealand talent?
Yeah, I do.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.
Dana, congratulations on a successful evening right here.
Thank you. Hey.
Tonight was the first night we experimented a little bit with some live spectators. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And Lawrence Epstein, COO, yesterday talked about this would be the place in this bubble to experiment with live spectators. Want to get your thoughts on that and maybe potentially growing that as these events.
Well, this is a different scenario. All the spectators are tested. I mean, we really didn't have spectators tonight. I mean, you don't. I mean, there's first of all, anybody that's in the safety zone here has been tested umpteen times, right? And 2.4 million people that live here have been tested. So it's not really spectators.
Curious to get your thoughts on Magic Marlon Moraes. He was initially scheduled to fight Petr Yan. Obviously, the pandemic happened. Where does he fit in this bantamweight equation?
He fits. Obviously, he's the number one guy. So, yeah, we'll get all that figured out when we get home.
Hey, so we all know that Davison got tested positive, and he's taking another test. But as far as we know, maybe Pantoja can sub for him if things go wrong. How do you see that play out?
Yeah,
Pantoja versus
we specifically had him on the card just in case anything happened. We were more concerned with weight cut. But yeah, that's how I see that playing out.
And do you think that this is a fight that's worth title shot?
That deserves a title shot?
Pantoja versus Benavidez.
Yeah, if one guy can't do it, the other guy gets it. Thank you.
Dana, here. Davidson Figueiredo said that he tested positive for COVID 2 months ago, so he doesn't understand how he tests positive now. Did Davidson Figueiredo or his team inform the UFC 2 months ago that he tested positive?
I don't know. I don't know how that whole thing. I doubt it, or we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. You know, as we continue in this thing, we're going to have all kinds of weird stuff happen that hasn't happened before. And, you know, this one's popping up now. And did he have it? And does he have the antibody? And I don't know. I let smarter people than me figure that stupid shit out. I'm not trying to be a COVID-19 expert, but you know, we got Doc D and a lot of other people working on that. We'll get it figured out.
Money was a big topic going into this main event tonight, and even Joe Rogan commented on this on his podcast recently that he doesn't think the pay structure show money and win money is fair for fighters. Is the UFC consider maybe moving away to a different pay structure in the future?
We've never talked about it, no.
What are your thoughts on this?
Huh?
What are your thoughts on this? Is that something you?
Why am I what?
Your thoughts on this?
I'm against it? I haven't thought about it. Till you just said it.
Dana,
Last one for me. Sorry. Leo Santos was here earlier, and he asked us to ask you why doesn't he get booked more often in UFC? Leonardo Santos, he was here earlier.
Dos Santos, yeah?
Yeah, and we asked him why he doesn't fight more often in UFC, and he said this is a question for the UFC for Dana White. So I'm asking you.
He said, ask us
Yeah,
why he doesn't fight more?
yeah.
He can fight as much as he wants to. I mean, if you see some of these kids, look at Gilbert Burns. You know what I mean? Gilbert Burns has been on a roll. I mean, there's a lot of kids that we've turned around quickly. O'Malley is going to turn around here quickly, too. You can fight as many times as you want. I don't know why he said ask me. Unless there's some, I don't know, something going on with him and the matchmakers that I don't know about. But, yeah, not that I'm aware of. Listen, per these guys' contracts, we owe them 3 fights a year per their contract. So they have to fight at a minimum of 3 times a year. If they don't, then I have to pay them. So, I don't know.
Dana, here. You said yesterday that Gilbert Burns is the #1 on the division. Is he next for Kamaru?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman is going to be a really, really good fight. Really good fight.
And can you talk a little bit about Amanda Ribas? She seems to be the whole package.
Yeah, I mean, she's awesome. I mean, look at how good she looked tonight. And after she did her interview, everybody was blowing me up, saying how awesome she is and what an incredible personality she has. And yeah, she really shined tonight, and she looked really good, and people love her.
Dana, hi at the back. Last year, obviously, when the event came here, there was some criticism about the temperature ringside. What was it like in there? I personally wasn't there, so keen to kind of get your thoughts.
Yeah, no, it was hot as hell last time we were here. And today, you know, if you tell these guys this was wrong or that was wrong, man, they fixed it. It was really nice in there today. I don't know how you guys felt. I got a suit on, and I was felt great. You put a jacket on them, there you go. Tell them it's too hot, they're going to freeze you out of the place. There you go. They don't play around out here. It was great. Everything's been great. I mean, if I had to criticize anything that's happened this week so far, I can't. There's not one thing I could point to that hasn't been great and over the top, and, you know, especially considering the circumstances and the amount of time that we had to pull this off. It's unbelievable. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else has done it. I knew this was the place to do it. These guys, I've been in business with these guys for over a decade, and they're very good. They're very, very good at what they do. You guys good? All right, see you Wednesday.